Hi, I am Victoria Maclean and welcome to my channel. Now, in case you haven't seen my social media over the last, I think it's month and a half, I did an interview on BBC Radio 1 with Scott Mills, and it was an interview called Ask Me Anything. So I decided to give you guys the chance to ask me anything. And over the last month and a half, you guys have been sending me your questions, and I have to say I have been bombarded, which is amazing. But what I want to say is, if I don't answer your question, please forgive me. I will try and get back to you personally if I can. But I have had a lot, which is really great. Anyway, if you would like me to bring Hogwarts to you, then why not subscribe to my channel? Let's get started. I am really bad at getting names right, so please forgive me if I read your name out and I have read it wrong. I will put a description here or show the screenshot of the question so you know that I am talking about you. Also, a little disclaimer for you guys. YouTube have turned off comments for videos that have been deemed fit for children. All my videos, well, most of my videos are fit for children because they're quite mild, there's no swearing. I try and keep it fun. I even sing in some of them. But I have deemed my videos fit for children, which means that the comments have now been turned off. Apparently YouTube are trying very hard to fix this problem because it is a problem, obviously, as you guys know. If you would like to contact me, then there is a list of my social media down below. So have a look down there and also see the links that are associated with these accounts here on Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook. And you guys can get contact with me through that. So let's get started. Danny Dawkins asked me, which Harry Potter item from Noble Collection would you love to have in your collection that you don't own already? Now, if you guys didn't see my first video of 2020, check out the link above because I do talk about an item that Noble Collection did a very long time ago. It was, if you have a look at this photo here, it was a spine candle from Prisoner of Azkaban, and it was absolutely sensational. Now that item is something I would love to own. If you haven't seen that candle, you can go to the Noble Collection in Covent Garden in London and they have it on display downstairs. They have lots of items that they used to sell downstairs in their shop, including the original Hermione Granger bag. But what I was told is, because I asked if I could have a closer look at the items and it was a big no-no. And if one of the employees sells one of the items, they get fined £30,000. I know, I know. But they are so fantastic. It's like a little museum down there. So Danny, that is your question answered. I hope that satisfies you. Okay, the next question is from Lucy. Hi, Lucy. The question is, what is your favourite Harry Potter item from your collection? Well, my favourite item from my Harry Potter collection is an unofficial item. It is a Dumbledore's Office miniature replica cabinet. It is absolutely gorgeous, 24 karat gold leaf on the outside, and it is so incredibly detailed. Inside you have forks, you have Dobby, you have the sorting hat, you have books, scrolls, quills, lots of notepads, paper, his desk, his chair, the room at the back that you can see in the back of his office. It even has a miniature replica of his huge telescope that is above his office. It is just outstanding. And on the top is like an old, it looks like Dumbledore's desk. It's really gorgeous. Now, if you check this video out, the link out, you will see it in full. It is beautiful. Okay, this is from my editor, Janice. Hi, Janice. Out of all your items, which was the most fun to video? That's actually a really good question. It's got to be a cosplay video, isn't it? I think it's got to be this one. It is where I actually show the Star Ace version of Bellatrix Lestrange, and I dressed up as Bellatrix Lestrange for the video, and it was so much fun. I pretended to drink Polyjuice Potion and become her. There was a hair in my drink and everything, and I pretended to become Bellatrix, and it was so much fun to do. I actually walked around the house and scared the life out of my eldest son because I walked in and I had black teeth and everything. I walked in and I had black hair and it was curly and I had really black eyes, and oh, it was so much fun. So yeah, that's definitely the one that I think was the most fun to film. Okay, next question is from Tracy Anson. Hello, Tracy. How do you manage to do all of this, go to university, raise a child, 3, keep house, etc.? The real question I want to ask is, how do you fund your collection? Jealous massively, of course, but keep up the amazing things you do. I'll just sit, watch and envy you. Big hugs. Oh, big hugs to you, Tracy. I know a lot of people are jealous of my collection, but I just tell them that it starts with one item, always starts with one item, and it just grows from there. How do I do it? Do you know what? I don't actually know. I don't know. I don't have a full, I'm in my second year of university, so I don't have a full schedule of university like most people would. Technically, I think this term I'm only in university 2 days a week, but then a lot of the things that we would be doing normally is we would be filming else out there and on set and so on. But my degree, my film and TV degree, has actually been based on my YouTube channel. So the work that I do for you guys twice a week or once a week or 3 times a week is actually used then for my degree in presenting my work. So it's killing 2 birds with one stone. So I'm very, very, very lucky that my university professors have actually agreed for me to use my YouTube channel as my work. We were meant to be doing, I remember everyone, we were sitting in the auditorium like this, listening to our lecturers talk about this new year, the second year out. We were all sat there thinking, okay, well, this is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. We're all holding hands, you know, breathing. Paper bags came out. Brown paper bags came out. And we were all like this, and we were all panicking, listening to our lecturers. And my lecturer, Timmy, I've got a little tiny bit of a crush on him. He's probably watching this, so hi, Timmy. But anyway, they were all talking. I'm there like this, breathing really heavily, panicking. And they said, we're expecting you to produce about 60 videos or 60 films next year. And everyone's looking at themselves, and I'm absolutely pooping my pants. And my colleagues turn around to me and say, you got nothing to worry about. You film twice a week. You've already done 60 videos probably. So it actually worked out that it's actually okay. The only thing that I struggle with is when we have contextual studies, which is the honours part of my degree. So obviously I will hopefully pass a degree with honours. I have disabilities, so I've got dyslexia, dyspraxia, ADHD and SPLD. SPLD is basically another word for an umbrella for I have almost all the disabilities that are out there, which is quite amazing really that I have all of them, but in small traits, and so they call that SPLD rather than naming them all. But the main 3 then, dyslexia, dyspraxia and ADHD, which explains my obsession with Harry Potter. So that's where I get stuck, but I luckily have a fantastic one-to-one called Kate, who I sit with for 2 hours each session, and we go through my work and she goes through my essays with me, and she helps me write them, she helps me do the research, because if it wasn't for me having help, I would not be doing a degree. There is no way that I would be able to deal with the work. I wouldn't be able to deal with the reading, I wouldn't be able to deal with understanding the questions, I wouldn't be able to deal with the research. So, and putting it into context that they expect, like Harvard referencing and so on. So there is no way I could do it. But luckily, because of my disabilities, I have full one-to-one help, which is amazing. My children, they're very, very patient with me. So they understand that mummy's very busy all the time. Luckily, my husband, as you've probably seen from lots of little clips, he is my world. He is the most incredible husband and like so patient with me. He cooks, he cleans, he does the washing, he hoovers, he dusts. In fact, he does more housework than I do. The only thing I really concentrate on is getting everything else done. But he is so patient with me. He also has 2 jobs. He's a teacher and he's a doorman. He's a head doorman. But my kids, I mean, Monica's 21, so she's moved out. She lives in London. She's actually got her works due tonight at the Warner Brothers studio, so I'm expecting to see lots of very drunken photographs later on. My eldest son Daniel, he's in college, so he's doing media in college, so we're in the same boat there. And then Harry's 10 in 3 weeks time. So for Harry, he's at that age now where he's quite happy to do his own thing and so on. He has his friends over, he goes over to his friends. I'm home a lot at the moment, especially with university not being back until the end of the month. So it's been it's been really good for me. I work as well to pay for my addiction. I obviously get paid by YouTube, which is brilliant. But I also have a job. I'm actually a barmaid as well. So I have a normal job, which I actually really enjoy. I work in 2 places. I work in Hogwarts in Swansea, and I work in the Allen Stuart Lennox in Neath, which is where my husband's head doorman. So I'm really, really lucky. Speaking of children.
Can I barber slap you?
What's barber slap?
Like and subscribe.
You weirdo.
She secretly smells.
I do, yeah. If this isn't smell-o-vision, you'd be fine. What are you doing? What are you doing now? Itchy. This is my life. He's lost an eye or pupil.
If you don't like the video, you're Scottish.
Do you mean you're part Scottish?
Yeah, that means I get the right to say it.
Oh, right, okay. You're going to let me carry on now? I do have 2 jobs, and I also have a YouTube job as well. I get given lots of items, obviously, as you know. I get sponsored by companies up and down the UK and in America as well, so I'm very, very lucky. So yes, I hope that answers your question, my love. Right, this is a lovely friend of mine, Pixie Potterhead over on Twitter. Hello, my darling. What's one Wizarding World film replica that Noble Collection hasn't made that you hope will be created soon? Now, God, this could go on forever, but 2 items that instantly stand out to me is the photo album from Philosopher's Stone that Hagrid gives to Harry. Now, I know they have been produced before, but they weren't exactly the same. They were black, and the ones in the film are like a maroon colour. So I'd love it if Noble did that. They have sent the request to their American offices, who are the ones that decide what they make. So with a bit of luck, we'll be seeing that one day soon. The biggest ones, I think, before were Slughorn's Hourglass, which obviously they made, and the Ravenclaw diadem, which of course they made. But the other item has been created, but not by Noble. Now, a while ago, in the Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, in Nocturne Alley, you could buy the cursed opal necklace that Draco gives to Katie Bell to give to Dumbledore. And of course, Katie Bell touches it, she's cursed, and Snape says she's lucky to be alive. Now, for a while, that was actually for sale in the shops there for $351. Now, I saw it when I went out the year before last, and I wish I had bought it because it is now one of the hardest replicas to get a hold of. I don't think I'd buy it. I don't think I'd buy that version. I'd love it if Noble Collection bought that one out, just because it is such a unique and beautiful item. And of course, you guys know I've done my Nocturne Alley in my Harry Potter room. Obviously, we're in my old area today, so you probably recognise this as my old area. But it's because I needed my computer to read your questions. But that's probably the item most that I would want them to create the most is the necklace. For me, that is it. Hi, Louise Briggs. Right, the question is, what was your first Harry Potter item you ever bought, and have you still got it? I was over there for a while, but yes, I have. The first Harry Potter item I ever bought was a paperback Smarties edition of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone from Ottakers back then, and it was back in 2001. That is my first introduction to Harry Potter in a physical item, and I just fell in love that day. I loved it. I couldn't wait to get Chamber of Secrets, and I do still have it. I will never ever get rid of that book, but it's one thing. That one book has led me to all of this, and it's just, there's so much attachment to that book. It's unbelievable. Bailey, hello my darling, how are you? What is an item that you are currently looking for, or that you would like to love to buy at the moment? I think one of the items is obviously the Noble Collection candle, which I mentioned earlier in the video, the spine candle. But then an item that I have been looking out for, again, it's the Noble Collection, not Noble Collection, it is the Wizarding World cursed opal necklace. I think that for me is the item that I would want to buy most. But again, the cost of that I think is like £900 plus. It's ridiculous. It's gone up in so much value. But that is the item that I personally would love to own. Potterholic 1990, hello. How old were you when you started collecting, and what fascinated you especially to the Harry Potter stories? Well, that's actually a really good question. I started obviously in 2001, but I started proper collecting It was, I think, started maybe in 2008 after I was on the set of Deathly Hallows Part 1. And it kind of snowballed from there. And then when my mum passed away in 2015, I just became obsessed, totally and utterly obsessed. So my collection has been growing for a long time. It's been 18 years or 19 years this year in the making. I love it. Now, the reason why I think that I love collecting Harry Potter is because I think I spoke to a reporter the other day, and he asked me a similar question. And it thinks you've got like things like Star Wars. My husband collects Star Wars. Now, Star Wars is very grey, it's very black, it's very plastic. It's very just simple. But then you've got Harry Potter that has things like the Ravenclaw diadem. It has jewellery, it has snow globes, it has, I'm looking over at my items at the moment, it's got replica castles, it has gold from Gringotts, it has hourglasses, it has like Lego castles, it has, you know, Dementors and gorgeous Triwizard cups and golden dragon eggs and time turners, and everything with Harry Potter is very colourful, it's very delicate, it's very pretty, it's very dainty. You're more than happy to display a collection of Harry Potter items. I mean, look at the mirror of Erisette by Noble here. I mean, how beautiful is that? And then we've got things like these items as well. Harry Potter Q Fig Max. You've got things like this, you know, they're just so beautiful. And then I've got things like, you know, the Harry Potter cake by Geek Gear. I mean, it's just, there's so many stunning items that like people like Noble Collection and Cine Replicas and Star Ace and Geek Gear have produced that you can't not like it. I mean, it's like amazing. Okay, this is J. Ellie. Hello, darling. How are you? Now, your question is, I love watching your videos. Thank you very much. And I appreciate you sharing all your Harry Potter collections with us. I just would like to ask you if you've ever sold any of your collections to make more room space for new collectibles. Now, I have sold items in the past. I actually had 2 of J.K. Rowling's autographs. Now, a while ago, if you wrote to her, you would get a postcard of the Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone book cover, but you'd have her autograph in a box at the bottom. Now, back then, J.K. Rowling would sign them and you'd have the hologram on the back to prove, obviously, that it was actually hers. She doesn't do that anymore, unfortunately. That was when she wasn't bombarded with people writing to her, because obviously I've been following her since 2001. But I actually got sent 2 of those, which was incredible. But I was waiting for the Gryffindor Common Room to be made by Valentine's Miniatures, and I couldn't afford to buy it outright. It was a lot of money. And so I actually sold the autograph, one of the autographs, I have the other one still, to pay for that cabinet. Now, there's lots of other little things that I do sell, things that I have for Christmas or so on, but I've got doubles because, as you can imagine, it's very, very hard to buy for me because I do have a lot of items that people buy and I already have. So I do get doubles, if you like. And so I do sell those, but literally just to get them out of the way. I only try and sell them to get them out of the way, and then I use that money then to pay for something that I've been trying to get hold of. I've actually sold a few items recently to pay for the new Hagrid's wand. If you guys have seen that, it looks amazing, by Noble Collection. It's an actual umbrella wand. So that's going to be really interesting when that comes out. It's not released yet, but it's any day now. It's going to be made available to the public. I've got to get one. Bethany Smith Truffle. Hello, my darling. How are you? How long have you been a YouTuber for? Right. Okay. Unofficially, I've been with YouTube, I think, either since 2008 or 2009. But I literally posted videos up there of like my kids doing karate, or when I had Harry, the first day I held him, or the first time I held him, which was about a day or 2 after he was born because he was premature. And I posted that video up, and when I was on This Morning, I posted that video up. So I did a lot of like little videos, and I did a lot of singing before because I do sing, and I really enjoyed all of that. But then a year ago in November, I decided that it was time for me to do it properly, and I started producing, I think it was 1 or 2 videos a week. Then I went up to 3, then back down to 2 again. So it's been about it's been about 14 months that I've been doing YouTube professionally, where I actually been getting paid now. So it's really, really nice. But I need to do it more, I think, and I need to I want to try and do more with my YouTube, and this is why I'm doing my film and TV degree, because I want to improve on my YouTube videos and my YouTube channel. But yeah, it's definitely something that you have to commit to full time. Or I mean part-time, but it feels like a full-time job. I really enjoy doing YouTube videos. It is a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Jacob Potterhead, hello darling. Why do you think you're a Ravenclaw? I'm a huge fan of anything to do with astral planets, stars, galaxies, supernovas, black holes. I was a massive physics fan when I was a kid. I loved physics in school. It was one of my favourite classes. So I think that's a big thing about it. I love riddles, but I'm really bad at doing them. But I love trying to figure them out. I love anything like that. I'm quite a proud person, so I think part of that may be a little bit Gryffindor, but I'm also quite secretive, and I like to kind of keep to myself a lot, a bit like Luna. She's got friends, but she likes to keep to herself, and I'm very much, it sounds awful, but I'm very much a loner. I'm quite happy to go to a cafe and sit on my own and watch people how they spend their day, or people watch if you like. So I think that for me is very Ravenclawish. I can relate to Luna a lot, and I'm a little bit crazy. But she's very sane, just as sane as I am. But yeah, I think when it comes to Ravenclaws, I love blue for a start, so that's a big help. I love astronomy, so being in the astronomy tower would be like, Christmas for me. But yeah, I think that's probably why. And I love animals, so part of me is a little bit Hufflepuff, and then I feel very strongly towards Slytherin sometimes, so a bit of a Slitherclaw, I think. But mostly Ravenclaw for me. Oh my God, this is a really hard question. Gabu again. Wow. Okay, if you had to kill any character to save every character that died, good and bad, in the franchise, who would it be? Meaning saving Cedric, Fred, Dumbledore, Snape, Lily, James, Remus, Sirius, Tonks, etc. Wow. That's a big question. Okay, that's a really tough one. Who would I kill in order to save every character? Well, I think if Voldemort had been killed off in the beginning, as in before he started his, when maybe Slughorn got wind of it, or Dumbledore got wind of what he was doing, then if you killed him, they'd all be alive, wouldn't they? Every single one of them would be alive unless they died of natural causes, or maybe another Grindelwald or something came out and killed people. But or maybe Dumbledore and his brother, became bad or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think the obvious one I think would be obviously Voldemort. Do you know, when I was reading the books, Voldemort actually gave me nightmares. He was so well written in the books that he gave me nightmares. The idea of seeing him was terrifying. It was awful. It was a horrible thing. The idea of possibly seeing Voldemort maybe in the street or something, if he was real. He was written incredibly well in the books. But I think that's my answer. I think it would be Voldemort. Because you could kill two birds with one stone, couldn't you? Get rid of him and save so many people anyway. Oh, Gab, again. Hello, darling. Who's a better villain, Grindelwald or Voldemort? Now, that is a very, very good question. Now, obviously, we're only into the second film of Crimes of Grindelwald. Fantastic Beasts. So we haven't seen the full extent of Grindelwald's power or his abilities yet. Now, the thing is, J.K. Rowling said that in the terms of Voldemort and Grindelwald was actually the worse than Voldemort, because he bribed people with love in order to kill for him, basically. Promised them all of these things and that he would give them everything. So in that sort of sense, I think Grindelwald is worse. However, the people who are doing all those things don't really care. They just want to please Grindelwald. But then Voldemort was like that. I think she says that Grindelwald's worse. Now, obviously, we haven't seen the full extent, obviously, but in my eyes, Voldemort's worse. His cold nature, the idea of hearing that there's a possibility that a baby, was born that could kill him later on or had the power to vanquish the Dark Lord rises. Yeah, I think Voldemort's my choice. For now, that might change after the next 3 films of Crimes of Fantastic Beasts. We'll see. I'm sorry, I know Gaboo's written a lot of questions. This one just made me laugh. Do you like the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them franchise? If not, I'm watching you. Right, okay, here's the honest truth now. I loved the first film. I really loved the first film. We were introduced to a whole new franchise, a whole new world of the wizarding world, and that was, for me, amazing. I love Newt. I love Queenie. I can now play Queenie. I have blonde hair, so that's really good. But Crimes of Grindelwald, it disappointed me. Don't hate me, Gaboo, please. It did disappoint me because there was so much in the film that I don't think needed to be added. There's a lot of stuff that they didn't need to put in it. They could have just cut to the chase and done stuff. Here's a good tidbit for you. I bet you guys didn't know this. I was actually offered a part on Fantastic Beasts Crimes of Grindelwald for 16 days of filming, but I turned it down because they wanted to cut my hair off, and at the time my hair was down my back. Big mistake by me. Really hated saying no. I'm hoping that I get a phone call this time to say we'd love to have you, blah 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 blah. Don't hate me for it. The scene, you wouldn't have seen me anyway. The scene, I know the scene that I would have been in, and you wouldn't have seen me. I might not even have been used, but it was a lot at the time. It was like, where am I going to stay in London for 16 days and so on, and it was a last minute thing, and I really did struggle, but I had to say no. At the time I was gutted, so I'm hoping that comes back around again. But it was a scene in Fantastic Beasts Crimes of Grindelwald that you couldn't see people properly apart from this one main character. So yeah, and I wouldn't have been able to see anybody particularly because nobody else was in the scene other than this one person. So yeah, I do regret it now, I know. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say this now. In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, there's a scene where Harry and Hermione are dancing, right? Now, you all remember that scene in the tent. Ron's just left and Hermione needs to be cheered up, and he has this song and they dance. Apparently in the scene, they actually started dancing properly. David Yates actually said, you've got to make it more geeky. You've got to dance more geeky. We want to see more of a geeky dance. Now, a lot of people who were watching that were like, oh my God, they're going to kiss. I never thought in a million years that those two would ever get together because they were more like brother and sister. I have that. I have a friend who is like a brother to me, and the idea of him being, and don't get me wrong, he's gorgeous, but he's like, the idea of getting with him is just no, not even if I was single or like 20 years younger. But I understand the relationship between Harry and Hermione, and they are they're more like brother and sister, and they would never ever ever get together, ever. So that scene where they look like they're going to kiss, no, you can even see it in their faces. It's not that type of relationship. He just wants to cheer her up. He hates that she's hurting. And he just thinks, do you know what? Let's just dance. We've got nothing else we need to do here. Let's just dance. And she even has a smile on her face while dancing, because for a second she forgets how much she's hurting that Ron's no longer there. Ron will always be her number one back then, and still is today. Okay, here's a question from Ben Rose 1. If you were a Hogwarts teacher, what would you teach? Again, really good question. I'm scared of heights, so it wouldn't be Madam Hooch's job teaching First how to fly. It wouldn't be PE or sport or Quidditch, because I'm not good with that at all. I'd possibly teach Astronomy, maybe. Didn't Friends teach that for a while? What else would I teach? I'm not good with history, so I wouldn't teach history. Possibly potions, because I loved chemistry, more physics than chemistry, so the astronomy would probably be more suitable for me. Maybe potions, because one of my favourite scenes in Harry Potter is the scene where in Half-Blood Prince, when they're at Professor Slughorn's class making Draught of Living Death. I love that scene where the bean flies across and hits Katie Bell in the back of the head and everything. It's just so much fun. I love it. And Dean blows up something again in the cauldron. But that's one of my favourite scenes. So I think it would probably be either astronomy, potions, or I think possibly maybe transfigurations. I don't know. I like the idea of turning things into something else. That's quite cool. So yeah, I think those three would be my top choices. I don't know what I'd pass at though. See what grades Professor Snape gives me first. Bethany Smith Truffle. Hello, darling. Hi Victoria, I hope you are doing well. My question is, if you put your name into the Goblet of Fire, which magical school would you be from? Fleur Delacour from, for example, Fleur Delacour from Beauxbatons. It would probably be from Beauxbatons. One, because of the blonde hair, and two, because I love their costume. I actually have one of their costumes on their way. I can't wait, because I've got an event being done in February that I'm presenting, and I'm going to be wearing my Beauxbatons costume. I can't wait, because I'm blonde now, it works. But yeah, I think it would be Beauxbatons, because in the books, this is what gets me cross, because in the films they don't explain who the WHIL are, and yet in the books the WHIL are these amazing gorgeous ladies who come waddling in, and they have like this hold over men, and women don't understand why, because it's just over the men. So it's very kind of, it's magical, and I love the idea of riding around on that carriage with the flying horses as well. And I love Madame Maxine. They drink only single malt whiskey. So I think it would definitely be Beauxbatons for me. Okay, this one is from today, and it's Potter Collectibles. If you were to collect any other memorabilia except Harry Potter related, what would it be? Or do you like the Marvel movies? If so, what's your favourite superhero? My favourite superhero is Iron Man, and then it's Captain Marvel. But if I wasn't to collect Harry Potter, my first love was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's the symbol by Joss Whedon. And I actually collected Buffy the Vampire Slayer memorabilia, and I had the biggest collection in the world. Now, that wasn't official, but apparently I did. But we're talking a long time ago. And then I met Harry Potter, and it all changed. So first of all, it was Buffy, and then it was Harry Potter. I do love Lord of the Rings. I love the things that you can buy from Lord of the Rings. So that might have been another item that I would have very much gone into collecting. Because some of those items, especially Arwen's items and the crowns and so on, oh, I love them. And Game of Thrones, I love Game of Thrones so much. I really want to thank you all for sending me your questions. If I didn't answer your questions, I'm really, really sorry. I will be doing another one soon, and then feel free to send me whatever questions you wanted answered. Even if it's not Harry Potter related, it doesn't have to be Harry Potter related, it can be anything at all. If you would like me to bring Hogwarts to you, then why not subscribe to my channel? If you like this video, then make sure you hit the like button, and also, so you don't miss any more of my videos, hit the notification button as well. Until next time, take care. I love you all. I'll speak to you very soon. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you subscribe to my channel, invite your friends, and also like this video, and let me know down below in the comment section, what did you think of this video? What would you like me to cover? Until then, thank you so much. Take care. I love you all, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye-bye.